But I'm just like so cozy vibes today.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Lana Vampana, and this is
Eruca Rose.
And this is Lunar Monday. And today we're going to talk about ROSALEEN Norton, the Witch of King's Cross.
The Witch of King's Cross, because we're projecting today.
Oh, yeah.
ROSALEEN Norton was an Australian artist and witch. She was a pantheist, like she was really into the deity Pan, as well as like Lilith and
Hecate.
And Lucifer.
And Lucifer. Yeah, I think she's super cool because she like would hypnotize herself, go into a trance, and she would meet up with these gods that you just mentioned, and she would like draw them. So very much like some kind of
incredible artist.
Yeah.
First of all. Like these trances are like these like meditative states, and I think trance was like the trendy word back then to use, because like now that I'm older and I'm listening back to these old interviews with people, I'm noticing like what they meant by trance. Like I'm like, oh, it's not just like this weird thing like as a kid. That's what
like you just think of like, I guess, yeah, you do think of like, I think of hypnotism for sure, or just like, I guess I think like just really, really zoned in, like you're just super present. Yeah.
But now I'm looking back and I'm like, actually, I think I've been in some trances. I think I've been doing this. Just doing the meditations and like intention work and astral projection. Like I think that's all like the same realm.
Yeah.
So seeing her do art from that space is really
and
cool.
I think there was something like the way she described it was like she would basically go to this like astral realm where it was basically like a meeting place. Like it had its own thing, like say humans here, middle place, gods and stuff, but it was like their meeting place, their middle ground.
Oh, that's
which
really
I think
cool.
is like a cool concept of like different levels of like beings, or even just like levels of awareness.
She faced a lot of criticism and hype at the same time. She was infamous for the time because so much of it was considered immoral, and people assumed she was worshiping Satan, and the way that they viewed her was just so fearful and negative. It seemed like very ignorant.
It was like the 50s and 60s, and she was an open witch, like a very open witch.
That was the peak of her fame. And it seemed like she was like the eccentric, witchy lady on the street, but like for the whole country, in Australia as a whole.
She was very much like playing into that, and like she was well known, and but like apparently it didn't increase sales of her art,
which is a bummer, which is sad.
During that time,
as
far as we know.
And I found out she was super censored. Like she kept getting into these problems where they would feature her art somewhere and then it would get taken down for, let's see, how did they phrase it? Obscenity laws, unnatural acts, indecency codes of the time. So like she even got like there were 500 leather published books of her art that had to get like cut apart basically because indecency. And she got kicked out of that school as a kid for drawing indecent pictures of demons and stuff too.
She did though like stand up for her art. Like she went in front of like, I don't know, a committee or whatever. They were like, you're trying to they like, okay, this is my favorite one, but it appears as though there's a lady having sex with a panther.
They are, they're pretty graphic, and nowadays, like, I don't think it would be uncommon to see a painting like that, but back then, it
like
very
50s.
much was.
So like with that, she was like, no, that's not what this is about. The panther actually represents the unmanifest night. So it's the potential within all of us, and like this is like the acceptance of that, and like becoming one with that, like the shadow part of yourself.
There's so much symbolism and psychology in her work, along with the mythology of all of the deities and like her practice and spiritual.
That was another symbolism. Like the spiritual aspect of it. Like that was another thing that they were like, you can't do that. You can't have spiritual artwork and be a woman too. And
there was just
they
too
were
many
like,
things.
it's too much. They weren't like, she was ahead of her time.
She was, because it seemed like shortly after, like late 60s, 70s, like witchy stuff got to be more popular. But it was kind of after, like she kind of led the way almost. Like she opened the gates for more people to feel like they could venture in that direction.
Definitely. Yeah. What an icon.
Right? And one of the court situations I saw that she got into, she was representing herself because she thought it was unfair that other artists weren't getting censored for similar content or similar like level of nudity, but she was, and she won that battle too.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
I thought that was cool. Like she like really went for it. Like it's a big deal. Like now that I'm older too, I'm like thinking like for me to like go to the extent of finding how to sue somebody or like how to fight legally and like going to court and like maybe getting a lawyer and then like going like even just like dressing up, showing up to court, having to present my argument, like it's a lot. Like that just seems like overwhelming. So for her to do that for her art is really cool.
Hell yeah. But I'm just like so cozy vibes today.
So she was born in New Zealand on a full moon.
During a thunderstorm. And it was, she's a Libra with an Aries moon. It was October 2nd, 1917. You know, first of all, it's so cool anytime someone's born on a full moon, like you. Libra Aries dynamic is really that sounds fun.
Intense and fun, but also so beautiful, like the Aries, like Libra, Venus-y.
Feed the fire.
Yeah, and I think that like that fire, intense fire from Aries and like how gutsy she kind of was at the time, and then the beautification side with the Libra side and the art and like the way she did her art, like it's so passionate too.
Yeah, she was apparently like just super charismatic too.
I bet. Libra sun, Aries moon, Leo rising, which also shows like how confident she was in just being herself and like expressing herself, even though it wasn't what society wanted. She didn't really care.
I love that.
But she just didn't care. But what really like was striking about her chart to me was she has Jupiter in the 10th house in Gemini, and Jupiter the 10th house is a big like fame placement. Like a lot of people know you. Wherever Jupiter is, it like expands your chart and magnifies it. And the 10th house is your public house, your career, your public life. Like how people, like when we see celebrities, we see them as their 10th house.
Right.
So we are seeing her as this like magnified presence.
That's pretty cool.
Which is really cool. It's a big fame placement.
Big fame placement.
Very famous for what she did, for her work.
Okay, and we're talking about her today.
Yeah, we're talking about her even in 2023. Born over 100 years ago. But she died in 1979.
Of cancer.
She was born on that full moon, and apparently she felt like her destiny was to be a witch because of how she looked, even as a baby. Did you see that? She said she had pointed ears and like markings on her body. And that was like an indicator to her that she was a witch from birth.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, like the witch's mark. And that was the thing, is that probably what?
I do have pointed ears and marks too, so I think it was affirming for me to hear her say that.
Yeah, I have my my witchy toes.
You have the witch toes. Witchy.
Witchy.
And it looks like they moved to Australia in 1925. from New Zealand.
So she was little.
But her relationships were strained. She didn't like any of the people where they moved, apparently.
Aww.
She had a problem with the authority figures. Had a problem with her mom. Her dad was gone a lot because he was like a merchant that had to sail.
So even just as a little kid?
Even as a kid, she was like, I don't want to do any of this. I don't like any of these people. I found this quote from her about like her saying something about how she was moved here and she's expected to like these people. And she doesn't like them. I thought that was kind of...
Yeah, so she seems like the kind of person, like, you always know where they're standing. Like,
yeah.
She sounds like she would just tell you straight.
Yes. And in the interviews, it's hard to understand what she's saying, but, like, she seems happy and confident. Like, I was kind of surprised by that with some of the stuff I'd heard about her. Like, how strong in herself she was.
Very, very fabulous.
Yeah.
Like, she's
just like, living my best life.
Yeah.
Even though everybody's upset about it. Like, whatever.
Very charismatic.
Yes. So I think if she wanted to get along with these people, she totally could have, but she didn't want to. She didn't like them.
She was just like,
even her mom couldn't get along with her mom. She preferred to live in a tent in the yard.
Oh yeah.
For years as a kid.
She had bug friends.
Yes, she kept animals. She found, I think they said like spiders and a goat, and like they were like a cat. Like she was just collecting these animals living in the tent in the yard, by choice. By choice. She preferred to be there. It feels very Pan though. Like it feels very like woodsy living. Like what's the closest I can get to that nature life. I don't think she'd even necessarily discovered Pan at that age, like as a child, but like.
But he was like there,
getting
influencing.
Or she was drawn to that energy at least. Like something was up with that already. Because I have kids. They don't want to be in the yard. Like they don't want to sleep in the yard.
They don't talk to Pan.
No.
Yeah, he was definitely one of her like main deities, or he was her main deity.
Yeah, she even like had changed her name to Thorn after becoming a pantheist, and like she would get called the daughter of Pan, or the artist of Pan, or the communicator of Pan.
I like the daughter of Pan.
I saw that the most.
I was like, huh. Like.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty bold.
It is bold. I don't know if I could get to a point where I would call myself that.
It sounds cool though.
Yeah. And then she was expelled from school for drawing the demonic, nasty pictures at school. They said...
Oh yeah, she did.
She was a corrupting influence on the other children. And so she got kicked out of there. It was like a church girls' school.
Okay.
So I'm not really that surprised, but I thought it was funny. Corrupting influence was the reason. I like the phrasing of the old things, the old problems they had with baby. Then she went to college for art, and it looked like she worked with some people there. She modeled for different artists, and she also did some waitressing. She wrote stories for the paper, which I thought was cool at like 16. Like, this is
okay.
Very cool.
That's I didn't know that. That's
she also worked as a toy designer for a little bit. Like she did a whole bunch of stuff.
She did.
Yeah, and I'm sure it sounds like maybe as an adult she even did more things to try to like support herself because her art probably wasn't selling.
Yeah. Sadly.
Very sad.
I'm sure it's doing fine now.
Yeah, it's probably completely fine now. Very sad because she has such an influence on like the community, and like she was such a presence. And then to not get like acknowledged for that at the time is really sad.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a common thing.
Yeah.
Big famous artists, because they're like carving a new path, I guess.
Yeah.
And society's not
ready.
Not sure about it. She met a boy, Conroy, and they got married, but he ended up going off to war, and I guess her living situation got so bad while he was gone, she was upset with him. And I'm sure there were more reasons than that.
Yeah.
But she filed for a divorce when he got back. And the divorce took a while to go through, but she did get the divorce. And she met this Greenlees guy. And the Greenlees guy seemed to be into all the same things that she was into.
Yeah.
very artsy, doing all of this stuff. So they just started living together, but she didn't want to get married again, it sounds like.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. No judgment from us. She got her art in some shows, but, you know, it was so, like, fantastical with the angels and the demons and all of these, like, really dark themes. She was constantly battling getting censored.
Of course.
But I thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's pretty cool. Like, if you're an artist and, like, and you're, like, popular enough to get censored, like, that was cool.
Especially when other artists at the time, she said, weren't getting censored to the same level she was.
Yeah.
Like, she was being, like, kind of targeted.
Well,
which is unfortunate, but also, like...
I think that... Yeah, I feel like that was about the turning point where she, like, took the terrible things people were saying about her, and then she just owned it, and she would, like, she would wear an actual witch's hat, and, like, she, like, gained a lot of popularity that way.
Yeah. I guess she had some, I didn't catch what it was, but she had, like, a sign on her front door, like, welcome to the realm of angels and demons, and something, like, dark on her front door. I mean, if I find it, I'll put it up here.
Put it there.
So it was, like, every time they walk past her house, they're like,
oh my gosh, crazy lady.
And all the interviews with her viewers are like almost nervous to talk to her. Like they're like asking her questions.
They're very much like, I watched one interview and like the lady, it's like, I swear she's like sitting back like this. Like,
so what do you have to do to become part of these rituals?
Yeah. But she's like very like, just talking normally, just like, seems like a really super nice person.
Yeah.
That for her.
I really liked in this one art show she did in Sydney, it was like all of her work at the time that she referred to as her psychic experiments, where she had been doing her trance work and all of her things. And
psychic experiment.
I just love that phrasing. I put it in quotes. So
it's like on each other, were they just practicing? Like,
I want to know what the experiments were. Like, I need to look into some of these pieces.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a part 2, and then we just focus on whatever psychic experiments were.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool episode. So let us know in the comments if you want to
right now, so you don't forget.
Do it now, and then go ahead and subscribe. We're gonna tell you later, but also now too.
She was so well known. She became known as by a lot of names. It sounds like the Witch of King's Cross, the daughter of Pan, Thorn.
Yeah, Thorn is. I like that.
I really like that too.
It's very. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a fitting name. Just looking at her, like you're like, oh, I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see that. I think Thorn would be a cool middle name.
A cool middle
for a
name.
kid.
Thorn. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's kind of badass.
What's your middle name? Thorn.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
You should.
I need to pop another one out.
Oh my goodness.
So I can use the name.
And then I'm imagining like people mishear it as Thor, which is still awesome. Like Thorn? Cool.
If anyone has the middle name Thorn, let us know. We need to know that too.
Oh my god, first name Rose.
Rose Thorn, last name. Rose Thorn Smith. Rose Thorn.
Oh
my god. I can't with that. I can't do too many plant names in one.
Yeah. I hate it actually.
Like
a little bit.
The only one I've liked is I heard someone say Ivy Rose. I'm like, I kind of like Ivy Rose.
Ivy.
That's the only one I've liked.
Ivy is a cool name.
Like 2 plant names is hard to make it work.
Ivy. I don't know. Great.
Ivy Juniper.
Oh.
Ivy Juniper.
I love the name Juniper.
Juniper Sage. Juniper. I do like the name Juniper.
Juniper Sage is cute.
Juniper Thorn.
That goes.
Ivy Thorn. Okay, maybe I'm changing my mind about this. But yeah, she was known by a lot of names. So after all the accusations to the police, it seems like they did go investigate a time or two. And one of the times, the only evidence that was ever found on her that was anything illegal was photos. She had personal photos of an unnatural sex act. So they got in trouble for that. They got in trouble for doing an unnatural sex act, which blows my mind.
they didn't go the right way about getting that information
No,
to those.
probably
So
not.
I think that it ended up, I want to say that case flopped because they got it, they like basically broke into her apartment.
I'm sure they did.
Or something like that.
There was another time they got arrested, and the charge was vagrancy. They got charged with vagrancy, and that was such a vague charge. Vagrancy is a vague charge. It seems like the qualifications could have matched with anyone that lived around there at the time, and so they were cleared of those charges.
Not even like loitering or something.
Yeah, what even would vagrancy entail?
Just homeless, I thought.
Living around
just
town,
like sleeping under
in their house. So then she was living with Greenleys. She was living with Greenleys, and it seemed like the pressure from the society around them, the community around them, really took a toll on his mental health. I guess that's what the consensus is anyways. I don't obviously know what he was thinking and feeling, but we could do a reading.
Oh, we can. Okay.
But he started to go a little cray-cray. He was having a lot of struggles mentally, and he ended up having a breakdown. Mental collapse is how it was phrased. He was committed in 1955, and he never recovered from that. He was released briefly in 1964, but he had an episode and he attacked ROSALEEN with a knife, trying to kill her.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She was attacked by him, and then he went back to being committed, and then he was only released right before he died in 1983. He was 53 years old.
Wow.
Which I can't imagine, like, I mean, basically your partner at the time, like, going insane and having to be committed, and then you finally get them back, like, maybe they're okay, and then they try to kill you, and then they have to go back to being committed for the rest of their life. Like, that's awful.
That's so terrible. I'm so sad for her.
Yeah, because that was like her second chance at love, it feels like. And, like, they did all the rituals together, and that was her, like, partner in spirituality and like, her practice. Like,
he meant a lot to her. And like, but it was just like stress from all of the.
That's what I found, but there could be something more that we don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
They said that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but I don't know how good they were at diagnosing schizophrenia in the 60s. Yeah. So I don't know if he really had that. I'm kind of hesitant to like trust old diagnoses a little bit. Yeah. And it seemed like she went on to do some professional witching for a little bit, and then like doing like rituals for people and that kind of thing. And then teaching people probably about the deities and stuff. And then she moved on to be more of like a quiet witch, pantheist life. I think she got tired of dealing with people.
I love that too.
And we want to do some readings for her.
Yay!
With her?
With her. Yeah. We're gonna do it. Anyway, you have some cool crystals inspired by her.
They're out.
And I'm feeling like, their energies are going to help us connect to her energy. So.
They all just reminded me of different parts of her personality. Yeah. This one's a Mystic Merlin. It's a dreaming and astral projection and stuff. I thought that would be a good one since she was really into all of that stuff.
Oh, I like the Shungai.
Yeah.
I've been like, this is one that I'm really close to getting.
You need some.
I know I do. It's so like unexpectedly light, which is really cool.
Almost reminds me of Jet, how light it is.
Yeah.
And then I got the Dalmatian Jasper out because she was like a unique character.
Yeah. Also, this
of her
are
time.
all dedicated to her.
Yeah. And then the orange calcite, I was just thinking of the confidence and like the fire, the passion. It feels kind of like sacral. Her work was so confident and like sexual and empowered. And
definitely. You're so good. Okay, so let's just keep it. I was thinking about the green leaves. Green leaves. I keep hearing like green leaves.
We could see what she thinks about his psychotic break.
Ooh,
that might be interesting. What other questions do we want to ask her?
I would like advice for fellow rebel witches.
Ooh. Okay, we have a couple questions to read for Rosaleen. Let's see what advice she has for fellow rebel witches.
Yeah. That one felt good.
And then I picked this one because it has some of the deities in it that she worked with. I just wanted to see if she would
this one.
have them pull out. Yeah. I didn't realize this has nudity on it too.
It's art.
Oh god.
Oh,
Lilith.
That was one of her deities.
Yeah.
So, like,
I remembered Lilith and
Yeah.
Hecate, and
okay, I love that. It's already.
Lilith came out.
Yeah, she gave us a sign.
And the sign says, if you are looking for a sign, here it is.
I like the ideal romance one.
And this like warrior of love situation with it, it makes me feel like she's fighting for the ideal romance, you know?
Yeah.
She wants us to fight for that
This
romance.
was doubt and indecision, and it was upside down. So
Get rid of it. Get
rid
rid
of
of that
this.
doubt and indecision.
Get rid of it,
It's
yeah.
a block.
Yeah.
It's a block.
oh, I like that. Yeah.
I feel like she's saying like it's not needed, but this is worth focusing it on.
Yeah. Ideal romance. Yeah, the
And really
warrior
fighting
love.
for it.
Like, yeah, because I think she worked very much had that heart space because she was charismatic,
And
but
she,
it came from a place of love.
I don't think she settled either. Like she divorced the one guy. Like if she wasn't happy, it was like, I'm gonna move on then. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for the ideal situation. And I think she found that with Greenleaf until his mental
his
issues.
Ideal romance.
It's definitely part of her
Yeah.
her direction in life. This feels like she's recommending we're not juggling things, like focus on what you really want to do.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is about knowing your direction from childhood, maybe? Because it seemed like the only good memory she had from childhood was her being witchy in childhood.
Making her forts and stuff.
Working with the animals, living in the tent. And then the Five of Pentacles, it almost seems like not giving back to society in a way. Doesn't it?
They didn't give much to her.
Right, I don't think she feels that reciprocation, that need to reciprocate. Just do it. What's for you.
Yeah, I like that for her.
And the Ten of Wands. She did carry a big burden.
She did a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, all those legal things and
she really pushed through carrying
she did.
carrying these notions forward for so many people, which is kind of a thankless act, at least in her lifetime. Maybe now people are grateful, but back then
I bet there were grateful people back then, but
yeah,
not as many.
yeah. I think that there's a lot of burden she carried, and maybe encouraging us to feel able to carry that on.
Yeah. Don't let it be for naught.
Don't let it keep you up at night, for sure.
Yeah.
I almost kind of feel like a taking charge of the dream state vibe a little bit from this. She probably had, with her dream work involving demons and you can see the artwork, it all doesn't look like sunshine, roses.
Yeah, no, she
daisies.
definitely had a darker side of things.
It almost feels like she's taking charge of those darker elements. This card is very nightmare.
Yeah, she did like to think of herself as a witch of the night, the nighttime. She was very much embodied the darkness.
I think this is advice to turn those dark elements on their head. Turn them around.
Look at them in a different way.
In your favor. Use them for your own needs. I mean, this imagery is pretty intense. She wants you to
Lilith.
she wants you to live your fullest life, and do your practice full on, and look for love.
Yeah. And green leaves. Nice.
Okay. We also wanted to ask Rosaleen, what is the tea on Greenlee's mental breakdown? Like, I want to know what her opinion is on what was wrong with him. Oh, they came out?
Perception.
Oh, her perception was messed up.
I got, struggle, and it was upside down.
Oh.
Reunion of souls. Oh, maybe they were soulmates, but it's upside down.
What took them apart?
Yeah.
It pulled them apart. We have prejudice. Ooh, the title card. Victim mentality. Another title card of the deck. Self-absorbed. Obsessiveness. Suspiciousness. Demanding. It does feel like kind of like a schizophrenic episode in a way, because they get very like paranoid, like they become the victim in a way where they feel like people are coming for them or something's gonna happen to them, people are against them. It seems like
so that
and the suspiciousness kind of fits with that, being like really self-absorbed, because when your mental state's not right, like it's hard to empathize with other people. Very demanding, feeling like judgmental, and obsessing over things. That does feel just like a mental decline in general, and it seems similar with like the symptoms she's talking about him having.
Yeah, definitely. And then this is just like, confirming like his perception was all coming from, well, we don't know where it came from, but it wasn't good.
I want to see if she thinks it's from society's pressures, or if it's from something he had naturally, or if it's something that was like maybe from the spiritual realm.
Yeah. Ooh.
What got to him? Page of Wands. Ooh.
Okay. Childhood.
World, the devil, death. This group feels kind of like it's related to the deity work, to the trances.
Oh yeah.
But this feels more like it's to do with maybe even family. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I don't know, like an imbalance, like in the family.
And what he wanted to do.
Yeah, his passion, like his.
Yeah. Did it feel like it was mostly pressure from society, like they said? But it kind of feels like a kind of no. Like, yeah, it feels like it's a mix of everything. Like, it all played its part on him. He just broke down.
Yeah. Like all of the things, just not a great childhood. Like, unstable.
And I got these cards, like, reversed that came out. As you said, unstable. I guess it's all related. Maybe it would be too minimalistic, too like simplistic. It would be too simplistic to chalk it up to one part of his life. I was being overly simplistic.
Yeah.
I want to know which thing it was.
It was all the things.
I think it was all. It sounds like it was all the things.
Yeah.
He has a lot to say when it comes to him too.
I kind of had a feeling that it would be that way. I was like,
we're gonna open up a whole book of knowledge here.
We can do our creepy doll card.
Okay. They deserve a card.
Cleanse the energy of the deck. We're doing a different
Cleanse
thing
everything.
now.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosaleen.
Thank you, Rosaleen.
Like it needs like a. She's strong.
She is.
I feel like we had no issue trying to connect.
We
with her.
really didn't.
Like I didn't doubt it at all.
Was ready.
Like here she is. She's been here the whole time, all day, watching me watch videos of her. Creepy dolly card.
That one. Curiosity.
Yes.
So like maybe we've sparked. We sparked a new curiosity about Rosaleen.
What sparks your interest?
Yeah.
I hope we've sparked your interest. And then we can talk about more historical witches.
Yeah, let us know if you liked this. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun.
Changing it up. Yeah.
We like to mix things up.
We do. If you
I like to keep it fun.
Yeah, so, and yeah, let us, if you have any suggestions, also, please comment down below. But thank you for watching. Subscribe. Do things. Comment. I always get to this part and I'm like,
Follow us on the social medias.
Yes, down below.